Can you hear that voice that shows up immediately after you realize you've forgotten something? In that very instant. Not that, oh, I forgot. It's more like, fuck, now I'm going to have to deal with all of this.
Yes. Or you say one slightly awkward thing in a conversation, and 6 hours later, you're still replaying it. It's like you're on trial.
And the verdict and the voice are always the same.
Guilty. Guilty of being too much, not enough, or both at the same time, which not sure how it's possible, but yet it feels so possible.
It feels so right. It feels so me. That voice, it isn't you. It feels like you, but it's not.
Nope. It's learned, it's practiced. And for a lot of us women with ADHD, it's been rehearsed for decades.
This is Angry on the Inside. I'm Jess.
And I'm Jeannine. We're both certified ADHD coaches, but this podcast isn't coaching.
It's not therapy, and it's not medical advice.
It's real, honest conversations about being women with late diagnosed ADHD and everything that goes along with it.
Take what resonates and leave the rest. Today we're talking about negative self-talk and why for our ADHD brains, it can get so loud.
One of the things that really hit me is when I realized that this voice didn't just show up randomly. It was like built over time.
Okay. We've spent this whole time thinking Siri and Alexa were like the only automated voices we were all stuck listening to all day, but it's not the case. It's estimated that children between the ages of 10 to 12 with ADHD hear approximately 20,000 more negative messages compared to their peers.
20,000.
If we look back and we listen to our younger selves, we can hear all of those negative, imprinted, backhanded, shitty things that adults and kids alike felt very comfortable telling us when we were children. That's a pattern. It's not a bad day. It's not, you're just imagining it. It's a pattern.
It's not always overt. It's not always someone saying you're lazy. It's more like, why is this so hard for you? Try harder. You forgot again?
Those comments always come with like a certain level of exasperation on the back end. Why do we make people feel so exasperated? Like we've just worn them out. Oh, I'm just so overwhelmed and worn out by you. And you want to be like, dude, if you actually understood what overwhelm is and the fact that I am overwhelmed in this moment.
That's the problem when you're 10 and 12, right? I don't even know if we had the words for it. We just know you're right. Once again, exasperated somebody, like our parents, our friends, our teachers.
We might not have the words for it, but most of us come to the same conclusion, which is I'm the problem.
The sad thing is over time, you don't need to hear it from anyone else. You don't need anyone else to say it anymore because the voice in your head just takes over.
It does. You really do create your own voice. Sometimes it's someone else's voice. There are lots of people who would say that voice is their mother or their father or their spouse. No matter what, that voice is built and put together exactly like Siri or Alexa. It takes all the little sounds and all the little cues and it can put it together and your brain can make it say whatever it wants it to say. It is so hard to remember that our thoughts and the things that we are thinking aren't always the truth. We can't guarantee at all times that they are gospel. And that is a hard truth to learn and understand.
That's one of the things for ADHD with me was realizing, oh, my brain's like separate from me. A lot of times my brain is not my friend.
It kind of floored me myself. I always thought that the voice in my mind was me. It really is weird that it is sort of like its own separate thing. And I know some people might get some snark on this and be like, no, that means you're having some other mental health issues. But for real, seriously, all joking aside, it's like, it really is something that you have created yourself. And once you understand that and can recognize it, opens up all these neural pathways in your brain to start really reflecting on it. It's not a low self-esteem thing. There's actual real wiring here. We're talking about actual neuroreceptors and this type of thought and this type of cycle impacting our own neuroplasticity as well.
Yeah. Executive dysfunction is definitely a big one. You forget things, you lose things. You start things and you don't finish them. And instead of seeing that as just a brain-based pattern, you turn it into a character judgment. You're morally flawed. I'm irresponsible. I can't be trusted. And then don't forget there's rejection sensitivity.
Mm. I do love me some RSD. I can cuddle up with that thing like a warm, soft blanket at night when I am in the mood. Let me tell you what, RSD can be triggered by even the possibility that someone is disappointed in you. It can feel like proof that you've failed someone. Like it's always like a personal judgment. You're holding yourself up and comparing yourself to everything, everyone, and assuming that you are the worst outcome. It's just not, I forgot to text back. It's, they probably think I don't care and I'm a bad friend and I'm always ruining relationships and this is my fault. It's on me.
Yep. And then rumination kicks in, and that's all you can think about is what a crap friend you are.
You got to love that loop, right? It's not in downtown Chicago. It's in our heads where the brain just won't let it go. We will replay it. We will rewrite it. We will re-feel it, and refeeling it over and over again causes not only emotional and mental pain, but it will cause you physical pain. You know,
The longer it loops around, right, the more true it feels.
the longer it loops around, the more physical effects you really do see on your body. The tensing and the stress and the holding yourself together. There's so many ways RSD can push you over. Sometimes we don't even realize that's what it is. For this, Jeannine and I have chosen to name some of these thoughts, but we want to make sure that you know these are our thoughts. It might be different than what you experience. It might also be triggering to hear some of the words we're going to say, but it's important to understand how it can show up using examples from our own experience. It is not meant to be taking up space in your mind. It's us sharing how it does show up for us in some ways. Don't get me wrong. These won't be the extremely deep and terrifying thoughts maybe that some of us have sometimes, but I think it will at least show you that this is something that the both of us have experienced. We're so similar and so different. Everybody can have their own triggers, but in turn, sometimes we've said them so often in our heads that we don't even recognize them as being negative anymore or realizing that they're ruminating thoughts.
It's just the gospel truth. It's the, I'm going to fail at this again. Or why can't I just get my fucking act together? Yeah. Or I don't know. I'm just so, whatever happens next, I'm a mess. Such a freaking hot mess.
For me, it'll come across like, God, I messed it up again. Now now I've ruined it. Now nobody's going to believe that I can take care of this, right? I should have done what I said I was going to do. I shouldn't have tried to do extra. This happens every single time. This happens to me. It's only me.
Oh, I hear that one a lot too. Once again, Jeannine, you've done this. They're always screwing this up. What's wild is, I think if someone else said this to me, any of these things to me, I would defend myself. I'd be like, nah, absolutely not. That's not true.
Especially, what if you heard someone else saying it? What if you heard someone say to another person the things you're thinking, like out in public? I would be at a full stop. I'm just that kind of person. I would turn around, ask that person if they were okay. I would ask that person if they were safe. I would try to put on my best Superman act.
If you said it to me, I would maybe not say it out loud, but in my head, I'd be like, they don't know what they're talking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I came across someone who was talking about internal self-talk, internal negative self-talk, the same topic we're on right now. She had said one of the ways that she softens her tone with herself is that she calls herself Pookie.
It's kind of hard to be mad at a Pookie.
And it's hard to talk mean to a Pookie.
That's very true.
I thought that was the absolute best idea because we talk about naming things, putting a name on it, but giving a name to ourselves internally, like a kind name, a kind nickname, that I just thought was genius, to be quite honest. If I am Pookie, I'm not going to be like, everyone thinks I'm stupid or I just fucked up. I'm going to be like, Pookie, it's okay. You had a bad day and it happened, but you can get up and you can rally. Who can yell at a Pookie?
The hardest part of this for me is how much this voice has shaped my identity. I don't just have these thoughts. I believed them, sometimes still believe them.
We stop being the type of people who say, I forgot something, and we become the type of people that say, I am someone who forgets everything. We pull it into ourselves and make it our identity.
There's almost a weird like safety to that. I decide I'm just bad at this, then I don't have to keep trying and failing because I don't even have to try. I know what's going to happen.
These types of statements, they do protect us from disappointment, but it's also the type of thinking and perspective that leaves us stuck. And since it's about identity, it will just grab onto you. It's been said that it is important the way that we state things to ourselves. Instead of, I am someone who forgets everything, I am someone who forgot.
And it's amazing that that actually is so different to say, I forgot this today versus I always forget, or that is who I am. I am somebody who forgets.
Because saying that is who I am, identifying as that all-encompassing perspective, that all-encompassing general wording, that is our black and white thinking. We just take it and throw a blanket over all of it and act like everything is the same. And it's not. And it's so funny that we do that because we are so in tune with so many things going on with us all at the same time. And yet, when we're pointing the lens at us, we just want to make these blanket statements. Everything, all the time, always. These harsh words that just cover so much of what we're trying to go through or get through. Here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to tell you to just think positive thoughts. We are not down for the toxic positivity here at Angry on the Inside. It does not work for us.
That is not how we roll.
No, it is not.
It doesn't work. And we know that. I think it just makes it worse.
It does. And it's such a bullshit default.
You're supposed to think positive thoughts and you catch yourself not thinking positive thoughts. And then you beat yourself up for that.
But everybody told me to think positive thoughts and they're obviously positive and they aren't faking it in any way, I'm sure. We could do an entire episode on how much people lie about being happy. But I digress. We can start to create space between ourselves and that voice.
The voice in my head, I've noticed if I really listen carefully to it, it might sound like me, but there's a cadence to it that suddenly I'm like, that's my mom, or that's my dad, or that's the ex that's actually was the one who said it to me. I'm just repeating what they said. It's not me. It's me repeating them.
It's so strange to think about it being borrowed and built and conditioned into our brains. It's unsettling, but it's so interesting.
Yeah, it is. And so now I can sometimes catch myself. I can start to think and identify who that is, what that voice is. Because it's not mine. It's something I was just told so much I started to believe.
Well, it's a huge shift. It comes after our ADHD diagnosis. It comes while we're trying to do that work on ourselves, whether it's in therapy or coaching or support groups, wherever we're going, or even if we're reading, working on ourselves, it's still just this huge paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you should say to yourself, Pookie would never say that to me. Dad, get out of my head, because Pookie would never say that to me.
Right? I think that's freaking awesome. That was awesome, Jeannine.
Pookie says you're lying. Subtle shift, but hey, Pookie don't play that way. It's good we're talking about this. There are times when I'll read something in a book of tell yourself, you catch yourself and talk back to it, which sometimes to me sounds, I don't know, hokey, or I don't it sounds silly, but it's not. It's catching that thought in that moment, noticing, telling myself right now that I always forget or I always mess up. Saying it out loud is important. It helps.
It really truly does. And part of the understanding of coaching is, and the ideas behind why it works, is when someone is holding space for you and you are allowed to unabashedly express yourself about what you have going on currently in your life, your thoughts, things like that, everything that is present, possibly future. Being audible about that, expressing yourself verbally where your own ears can hear you speak with your own voice will interrupt a rumination cycle. And it also allows your brain to reprocess the information you are saying out loud. Because in the rumination process, which is inside our brains, we can say some crazy shit. And it's so easy to believe it. Because half the shit that we think about, somebody's actually already said to us anyway. It's popping up and getting pieced together and coming up for us now. A lot of times, once you say it out loud and you hear yourself saying it, your brain will process and understand maybe these thoughts aren't realistic. Some of these thoughts are not true. And it will change your whole way of thinking towards yourself.
Can you imagine yourself actually physically saying those words out loud to your best friend, to your sister, to your daughter, to your spouse? No, you never would. So why the fuck are you saying it to yourself?
I agree. The answer is almost always no. But if you're asking if you would say that to Pookie, the answer is hell no.
Well, Pookie wouldn't take it.
No, Pookie don't play that.
And it doesn't make the thought magically disappear. God, wish it did. But it calls it out. I think it softens it. The more you do it, I think the quieter that voice will become.
It's like laser hair removal. You do a couple passes, everything thins out, gets a little softer. Eventually, goes away. You might have the occasional stray hair you got to pluck.
Hadn't thought of it about that way, but yeah, the first couple of times hurts like a mother, but eventually it stops hurting.
Well, if there's one thing we're trying to share, it's that the voice in our heads, it's not dogma.
It is definitely not proof of who you are.
We can't silence it overnight, but we can start questioning it, even if it's just a little.
The voice was learned, which means it can be unlearned.
Pookie says, if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might be open to giving themselves an internal nickname.
Until next time, remember, you're not alone, and you're not the only one who's angry on the inside.